report from all supervisors present, in addition to the administrator and the clerk treasurer. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming. Cell phones, if you don't mind, put them on vibrate and or off, so as not to interrupt the meeting. And a reminder to the supervisors to speak into the microphone. And would you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Okay, first item is to approve the agenda, and I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. All right, we have the minutes of November 2nd. Are there any questions, additions, corrections? If not, I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. And then we have the special board meeting of the same evening. Are there any questions?
So move to approve the minutes of the special board meeting of November 2nd.
All second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, going on. Payment of the bills.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills as presented, total $32,715.42.
I'll second that.
Discussion, anybody? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. And then Janet, the treasurer's report, please.
Okay, in the municipal checking account, we began with a balance of $139,572.23. We transferred to the checking, we received transportation aid, and received a little bit of interest, bringing that balance to $95,468.09. The money market account, we began with $633,801.45. Interest posted, bringing that to $633,882.19. In the checking account, we began with $136,838.26. Deposits and transfers, minus the FICA, state withholding, payroll, and disbursements brought that balance to $87,861.99. Utility district funds total $598,591.81, for a total in all town accounts at the end of October of $1,415,804.08.
Anybody have a question? I'll move the approval then of the treasurer's report as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, going on to the administrator's report.
We have the signs made for the entrance to the town in Giltrock and Elson Bay. We have one site is permitted, other two sites are pending. I'm expecting the permit any day for those two. And the fourth one is we're waiting for owner authorization to put it on their property. There's about 6 owners on one piece, so it's taking them a while to get that approved. Hopefully we'll get the other 3 up this fall yet. On October 13th, the clerk treasurer meeting was held at the government center, conducted by Jay Zahn, the county treasurer. There's a new bill of wrinkle this year, a report that has to be submitted if you have a levy override, and that's going to be a ongoing disclosure on the tax bills. As you know, the budget is set here. We've had a couple of other taxing jurisdictions come in. The only one we're waiting for is the county budget levy of the state. At this point, from what I'm hearing, what the county did, they are up 3.7%. NWTC is up 7.36%. The town is up 1.54%. And Gibraltar Schools is down 2.96%.
Well, we have to monitor
So once we get the state and the county in, then we wait every year as we do for the school credit and put on the tax bills, and then we can submit that for payment. Grant applications are in to Waterway Commission for work on the harbor in Ellison Bay, and to coastal management for the stairway at Portimore Park. Newport Lane is done. The project went off pretty well. Now we're going to face an issue of parking on the north end of it because we have a nice cul-de-sac turnaround there. And now people that go into the park from there are going to be wanting to park there, which will cause problems for snow plowing in the wintertime, but we'll get some signage up there and handle that when it comes. We've had a few driveway permits. Those are few and far between lately. NWTC met with the committee on the 11th. They're working on a layout of the building at the former Bay Lake Bank to get the kitchen in there and classrooms. That would be, I believe they met at the clearing, was that today or yesterday? Today, I believe. To present some information there too. Election went well, helped by a third of our voters voting absentee and extra election workers here with 2 lines of to handle the crowd, so there was very few, very little, if much waiting for getting in to vote.
Questions, anybody?
We had an 84% voter turnout.
What'd you say?
84% voter turnout.
Is that a record or not?
I think the last presidential, we were 79, so if it isn't, it's close to it.
Okay, public input. Anybody with a general comment they'd like to make? Carl?
Yes, Carlos Anfield Rock. This is a question more than anything else. Is it policy to have a official meeting of the town electors every spring and every fall? Did we have one this fall?
Yes.
The one where me and 6 other people came, was that?
The budget, yes.
That was it, I don't believe it was publicized to that effect.
It was posted.
On the calendar, yes, the meeting was posted, but it wasn't announced as a fall electors meeting, to my knowledge.
Well, okay, in the sequencing of that, there is always a special town meeting.
Yeah.
And that is, the purpose of that is to approve the budget, approve the levy, which approves the budget.
Well, I had somebody complain to me that they were not aware that this was a normal fall electors meeting, so maybe it should have been headlined as such, and hopefully in the future.
Well, okay. Okay, you got backed up. There's the spring election,
Yeah,
or
Electors.
the spring, which handles the election and so forth, and seating the new, the supervisor, swearing in. The fall one is specifically to approve the levy.
That meeting was posted in the normal posting places 15 days ahead of time. And I sent it into the aggregate, but they dropped the ball on it this year. We didn't get it in the paper, so normally it's in the paper, but they didn't put it in.
I was referring more to the town website, which didn't mention that it was an electors meeting, just was like a special town meeting or something.
Yeah, in November, it's not considered an annual town meeting. It's a special town meeting to approve the levy.
Well, I know that part's special, okay.
So it wouldn't be a time when people could come and voice their opinion on many other subjects, not in the fall.
Okay, so the protocol would be if there's an issue of great importance to the town, this would be reason to call a special town electors meeting. And we didn't have that.
No.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else? General comments? Anybody on an agenda item? Okay, if not, we'll go ahead to
Lou, I'm sorry, number 11.
11. Okay. Okay, consider recycling contract with Towing Garbage. Janet, you want to make a comment on that, or?
The recycling program that we have with them ends this year. They dropped off a contract that's identical to the previous contract with the exception of an increase in the cost per pound. And that went from 0.041 cents per pound to 0.0435 cents a pound. The difference will be minuscule. Otherwise, it's the exact same program. This contract will run from January 2017 through December 31st, 2019, which is the same contract that they had before.
Question?
No, but I have a comment. Jeff is usually, or oftentimes here for this, and I was going to direct it at him, wondering if there's absolutely anything that could be done to mitigate the ground hornets that appear in late summer and swarm the receptacles. For anybody who is or potentially is allergic to bees, it's a real hazard. And they're pugnacious. It's not that they attack if you bother them, they attack.
They had in the container for cans and stuff, they had traps connected to the side of the dumpster.
Okay.
They put those in maybe mid-August. I'm one of those people.
Me too.
And so
And I've been some.
I pay attention to what, and they did put traps in the container this year.
Okay, then they should say, keep up the good work and add to them. Those things are nasty.
Okay, any other questions, anybody else?
Just a quickie, you mentioned something about the value of scrap paper, $45 a ton or something like that.
That same thing applies.
Right, has it ever gone above 45 or below 45? Do we ever get any no kickback on that or not?
We've gotten credit in the past,
Uh-huh.
when the paper, prices have gone up. We've paid when the paper prices are real low.
Okay, so it's actually something more expected.
Any other questions, anybody have?
You need a motion? or is
Yes.
it-
To approve the contract for 2017.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, going on to the resolution on Bailey's Harbor. I asked it to be put on, and it's kind of neat. I think one of our fellow towns are considered by Expedia as the 13th most comfortable place.
We must be number one then.
Yeah, right. I don't think we were mentioned. So, have you got the resolution up there? I thought it was just nice to recognize the town of Bailey's Harbor. I won't read it, but. And I'll make a motion to approve Town of Liberty Grove Resolution 1116, recognizing Expedia's 13th most comfortable place.
Since it's my hometown, I'll second that.
All right. All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, consider a resolution on parking congestion on Allison Bay Hill. Carl, you want to make a comment on it?
Yes, Carl Zoppi, once again from Joe's Rock. I don't know where you're going with this, so I wait with some interest to hear what you're going to say, but I will throw my comment in that if you forbid parking along the western side of 42, there's a very good chance you'll be chasing people down Humbug Road in front of the Anderson gift shop. And people that will still be crossing 42 to get to the thing. I mean, it's a sticky wicket. I don't know how you're gonna solve it, to be honest with you.
Well, Nancy had requested that last meeting that, Bud develop a resolution. It is.
It is a sticky wicket, and I agree with the statements that have been made that you are not going to stop people from parking there and taking pictures and crossing the road there. They will do what they will do, and if there was a way for them to drive their cars right up to the top of the hill and get a panoramic shot right there on the property, they would. You're not going to stop everyone from doing it. So the second best thing is to at least make it a little safer, or as safe as we can make it. And that's what this resolution is about, lowering the speed limit, making a cautionary notification coming up the hill that there is a blind spot at the top of the hill where pedestrians are apt to be gathered. And the third part that I added in the sample resolution was installing a pedestrian crosswalk. That I think is maybe up for discussion. I don't know if the state would walk at that, or if that's the thing that you include so that they feel good about throwing something out. But this is an appeal to the state. And if the board tonight decides to pass this resolution, and I think we should do a certified resolution if we can, just to give it a little more teeth, then as the president of GODC, I would also then reach out to Annie Miller of the Scenic Byways, who has a presence up there, Terry Cooper from the Door County Land Trust, who has a presence up there, would reach out to the Historic Society and to the Flatmans, who own the retail building, and maybe even to Virginia Hanson, every stakeholder who has an interest, to see if we can send one letter of appeal to the state along with this resolution and all the pictures that you saw at our last meeting with the people and dogs and crowds crossing back and forth on the hill. And at that point, I think we've done just about all we can. The thing that makes me hopeful about it is that we have a paper trail saying to the state, look, here's a problem. Now the ball is in their court, and the onus is on them if/when something happens. And the way things have been going there with the traffic that's parked there and all of the pedestrian crossings, which you're not going to be able to stop, it seems inevitable that sooner or later something will happen. And if it does, even with everything that we've asked the state to do, hopefully it'll happen at 25 miles per hour instead of 55 miles per hour.
Yeah, and if the state does nothing, as Nancy suggested, we've done what we need to do, which is to establish a paper trail for what would be, somebody could say, it was an attractive nuisance. Everybody knew that people stopped there, and why didn't it become safer? And we can say, well, we've tried everything we can from the town's liability point of view, and that's as far as we should go.
Okay, any other comments, anybody else?
It doesn't end right there, does it? So whereas it should be.
Oh, no, yeah, no, it goes further now.
Can you slide it
Are you,
down?
yeah, I was gonna ask you, are you gonna read it? Because I'll slide it while you read it.
Oh, okay. All right, excuse me, whereas the area of scenic, I'm sorry, whereas the area at the scenic crest of the Ellison Bay Hill on Highway 42 is significantly expanded in public use, which now includes the Liberty Grove Historical Society, Door County Land Trust, Town of Liberty Grove Grandview Park, and Door County Scenic Byways in a commercial business. And whereas the above-mentioned site affords a breathtaking view of the Bay of Green Bay, which attracts visitors year-round. And whereas parking prohibitions and alternate options with visible signage have failed to alleviate public safety concerns. And whereas visitors continue to park illegally on both sides of Highway 42 to access the scenic overlook. And whereas frequent pedestrian crossings occur at the crest of the hill, which is not visible to southbound traffic. And whereas the current speed limit at this site is 45 miles per hour. And whereas the Town of Liberty Grove believes the above-mentioned scenario to be a significant public safety hazard, be it hereby resolved that the Town of Liberty Grove in Door County, Wisconsin, respectfully request the Wisconsin Department of Transportation to mitigate this hazard by, 1, decreasing the speed limit of 45 to 30 miles per hour from Porcupine Bay Road north to Ellison Bay. 2, installing cautionary signage to southbound traffic from Ellison Bay advising that the hill blocks the view of pedestrian traffic. 3, installing a pedestrian crosswalk. I'll move approval of the Town of Liberty Grove Resolution 1216.
I'll second that.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Charging station. You have it again, I believe. Oh, sorry. Oh, there it is.
No, I closed it. We have been offered a free charging station from the Visitor Bureau. They have one left. A couple of years ago, it would have cost us $3,000, but it's now free. We have to let them know whether we want this or not. They'll take our name off of it if we don't. And we've got a couple of costs that would be involved should we decide to take it. One is actual installation of the electric connection that's required for these, which Mike Mulkey was here and gave us a kind of a breakdown of the different things that would have to be in an estimate of $1,500. The annual cost for electricity for one of these units down at the county station is about $45 a year.
Oof.
So we would be taking on a $45 cost. We would also be taking on the maintenance of it, but in 3.5 years, there have not been any maintenance required on the stations down in Sturgeon Bay. Let's see, what else? There is internet connection to the service there that would give us a report of how many times it's used. It also, if we decide to sign up for that, it also puts us on a map that this internet site has that shows people where they can go plug in their electric cars. The suggestion is that we put it on a pole that's right by the information center, because it takes a couple of hours for a car to charge, not fully, but to get to the next point. And they suggest that it be placed somewhere where people, while they're waiting for it to be charged, have something to do. The unit is able to handle all types of electric car plug-ins.
That would just be blanketly covered by our municipal insurance, correct?
Sure.
Thoughts, questions?
there is no charging station up north.
I can tell you that our end, we've received a couple people in electric cars so far this year.
There was an interesting flyer in our mailbox tonight, which states the North American market for plug-in electric vehicles, PEVs, is expected to grow by 62% this year. And part of that is because Tesla is not going to be the only model that's available anymore. They're coming out with two Chevys, Mitsubishi, and these cars are under the $40,000 range. So that's going to open up a whole brand new market. I would like to see this particular unit installed someplace, say in Allison Bay. There's one in Bailey's Harbor at the bed and breakfast there. You can see it, it's right on the wall. Blacksmith Inn. You know, we'd have to determine and get permission to install it, whoever we decided we wanted to put it. But I think you're gonna probably, based on this report, be seeing more and more of these vehicles, especially with the reduction in price. And it's another come on for people to come up here.
Yeah. I look now also all the time to the comprehensive plan. When the board makes decisions like this, we want to be in sync with what the comprehensive plan is suggesting, and environmentally friendly actions are definitely in that comprehensive plan. And this certainly seems to be one of those as well.
This is a little tidbit of information. Porsche is also looking at bringing out a electric car. They're having their engineers trying to figure out how they have it make noise. Yeah, it's true.
Those
Still
kids
do
in cars
180
on
miles an
wheels.
hour?
It's easy for your kid to hit the car on your thing.
Yeah, you can do that.
Put a
When
couple
word processing came into the law firms,
Mhm.
the keyboards made a typing sound, typewriter sound.
I talked with the lot owner today, Scott, about this. He said he didn't have a problem, he didn't care one way or the other. However, the lot is rented out to someone, so I'm wondering if we need to contact that person to make sure it's okay with the rental arrangements, or with him as the renter,
Where's this by?
or the lot that the information was
Oh,
on.
okay, gotcha.
Any other comments?
Tracy, please.
Okay, I'll make a motion then to go ahead pending the approval of the renter property where the information center is in Ellison Bay, to go ahead with the installation of the charging station.
I'll second that.
Any more discussion? I will ask funding for the electrical,
That's cool.
funding, the 1,100, or, I'm sorry, 1,500.
My suggestion would be to take it out of the IT carryover.
Okay. Then I'll make an amendment to the motion that the installation cost of $1,500 be taken from the IT carryover.
I'll second that.
Second. Good.
Okay, any discussion on the amendment? All those in favor of the amendment indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Janet, can you read the motion as amended now?
Pending approval of the renter to go ahead with the installation of the car charger with $1,500 taken from the IT carryover.
All in favor of the motion as amended, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, operator license approval.
We have two. They are new. They're working at Dovetail Trading. Suzanne Metzel and Joanne Metzel. The fees have been paid and the background check is fine.
Questions?
Do they take Fox Sports through?
Yes, oh yeah. Their certificates are attached and
Okay, I'll move the approval of the two operator licenses as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Correspondence.
Just to finish up on the article that Gary was talking about with electric vehicles, there's a company called Nikola One that is developing a Class 8 electric truck with a natural gas engine to mitigate range limitations. They say they have 7,000 orders with deposits on hand. The truck is powered by a 335 horse electric motor, outputs 2,000 horse, and over 3,700 pounds-feet of torque before gear reduction. It also has 6 electric motors and uses an independent suspension system by Meritor. The battery is a liquid-cooled 320 kilowatt lithium-ion battery pack charged by a proprietary turbine and will never need to be plugged in. So electricity is coming to town.
Our new patrol truck.
Yes. Our County Tourism Zone Executive Committee meets tomorrow in Sturgeon Bay. We have a letter of inquiry from a property owner wondering if it's legal to bury somebody on their property, so we answered that. Cremations, okay, full burial, not the greatest. Bellin Health has opened a wellness center in Sturgeon Bay. It's called Fast Care, open 7 days a week, including holidays. Does not require appointments, and visits are only $67, including the cost of labs. They're in the old Roy's Red Owl building up there, and they're next to the shipyard, so they're catering to businesses. Request a name change to a private road. We're suggesting that Central Road be renamed to Dragonfly Lane. So if we need to do that, we'll have to put that on a future agenda. Letters saying that Mike Konechny is retired from Schenck. The water is good to drink here and in Allison Bay. And the 2017 calendar of Monroe Truck. July features the town's patrol truck.
Yeah, close your eyes if you feel a little squeamish about looking at certain pictures.
I took the picture before we got the town logo on the door, though that's,
Yeah, unfortunately.
would have been a little nicer.
No, it's our truck then.
Wow. Look at those plows.
I know they can do
July.
Okay, future meetings.
We are on the 16th. Thursday, or Saturday, there will be a notice in the paper, a type A notice for the election coming up in the spring. Our next board meeting is scheduled for December 7th. Fire board on the 8th at 8 a.m. Utilities with a question mark on the 13th. Plan Commission on the 14th. Tourism Zone meets here, 9 AM on the 15th. 5 PM the 23rd, notification of non-candidacy. And December 25th, John Lowry is holding a seminar at the Blue Dolphin House. Oops, that's crossed out. All closed on the 26th. That's a Monday. Parks Committee on December 6th at 9 AM. What do we do for highway?
He hasn't said anything.
Yeah, we're meeting in December. But when do we meet, Monday?
Monday.
Monday the 5th, it's not on the calendar, but Highway Committee will be meeting that day. December 30th, tax collection from 1 to 4 PM. All closed at noon. And January 3rd is the last day to file nomination papers in the office of the clerk at 5 PM. That's about it.
Peter, you have a question?
Utility District, November 30th, 4 o'clock?
When? November 30th?
Yes,
What time?
4 o'clock.
Okay.
That's the budget approval.
That's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Just a quick quotation from Thomas Jefferson. In matters of style, swim with the current. In matters of principle, stand like a rock. I move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We stand adjourned. Thank you, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving.